Welcome back to Angela's Craft Room, and this is our third video on the Swallowtail stamp set. So this month we're doing 3 different techniques using the Swallowtail stamp set. So today what I call it is the grunge look for the Swallowtail. So we'll just get started on the Swallowtail grunge card. Now to start with, you're going to need a piece of cardstock which measures 11 inches by 4 2/8. I will put the measurements below in the comment section for you as well. So what we want to do to start with is we need to find the 5.5 inch mark on the cardstock, which I've got it marked there. So that's your 5.5 inch marks. So when we ink up and stamp the Swallowtail, we want the Swallowtail, why we're not scoring at first, is we want the Swallowtail to continue over on the back of the card. So 5.5 inches is your halfway point. So we just want, when we put the stamp down, just to be past that a little bit, just a little bit. Now on this side we want, I have started to ink it up because I really want it inked up well. Now on this side we want the top of his wing to go just a little bit over the top of the card if we can, and the bottom of his wing to go a bit over at the bottom. So I'm just inking up in soft suede. So I really want to get a good coverage, because really take advantage of all those wonderful detail grooves in the Swallowtail stamp set. And we really want it to, the ink pad to be juicy, so it can really get a really good coverage. And make sure you get right up in those corners. You don't want to miss. I've got a little bit of ink on me. So now here we go. This is our halfway mark, so I want him just to be a little bit over, and I'm looking where my top and bottom wing is on the right hand side, and I'm just putting him down. Now we just need to press and make sure, I like to stand up with this stamp set, just make sure you get right up there in the top and bottom corners. Try not to rock it. There we go. That looks pretty good. Should dry pretty fast. So now I need to just get my score line. Well, first of all, what we do, I'll just zoom out a little bit and grab my stamping trimmer, and I just want to score that at, because we're going to be bending him over that way, so I want him scored that way. 5.5 inches, I want him scored. Okay. Wonderful. Sorry. Just get my bone folder, and we're just going to fold him down like that. And you see how we've followed it over a little bit at the back. Now what we want to do is we're going to cut this part away. just want to cut this part away. And I didn't want to do this before coming on camera because I wanted you to see how I actually did do it. So I just want to cut that part away. Get rid of that bit. I just love this stamp. It's just, it can be used in so many ways. Ladies get really scared of it because it's such a big stamp. But, you know, there's ways of using it. So many different ways that you can use this stamp. And I'm just going to curve that off. So we have that. And then his wings go over the back like that, right? Now we need another piece of cardstock which measures 5.5 by 4 1/4. And we also need a piece of Whisper White. This is shimmery white, but you can just use Whisper White. That is just 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Now we'll use the white piece first. Now what we're going to do, I'm using 2 stamps from the Gorgeous Grunge. So I'm using this stamp up here and this one down here. This is a fantastic stamp set to have because you can use it in so many different ways as backgrounds. Now just position that to where I think that's going to sit. Okay. So, oh, sorry. That was nearly a disaster. I do apologise for that. Now, just taking the big piece and soft suede again, just ink it up. Now you're just going to ink around this side, so it's not going to, there's no wrong or right way. It's just whatever you want to do, really. It's just creating a grungy look. And I just want to go in that way a bit. Okay, then we're going to bring in the smaller splotchy stamp using the same colour, soft suede, but when I ink it up, I'm going to stamp off on my grid paper to get rid of a bit of that, and then it doesn't really matter where you put this. It's just to add a bit more grungy look of your card. So I don't want it to overpower those original splotches, and that's why I'm stamping off first. And that's all you have to do with that. It's pretty easy. Now I have to think that I'm doing it right. I want to put that on there. So I'm going to stick the Whisper White down on this other piece. Just leveling it up as much as you can there. You don't really want to see any of the Wisteria Wonder. So that's just sitting out like that. Now I will just grab my trimmer. I just want to trim off that edge a little bit because it just had a bit of a curl on it with the cardstock, which I didn't like. So that's going to be like that. You're going to place, what you're going to do is get, so this side of the butterfly but inside the card. So on this part here, we're going to grab our snail and we're going to really glue up this butterfly on the opposite side that we've stamped him. Right, and don't put that down yet, just make sure it's going to come down the right way. Now we're going to place this piece just inside there. Then we're going to bring over our white piece. Oh, there's a bit of glue there, get rid of that. Our butterfly, and just press down. And look at that. I just love it. It's just so different. And then I just love this stamp. I just do. So then I've got a piece of shimmery white which measures 5 by about 3 3/4. It doesn't really matter. This piece I'm just going to put inside the card. So I'm just going to grab my swallowtail. Now I'm just going to stamp it up. This doesn't have to be really well stamped because I'm going to stamp it off because I don't want it to overtake what I've done on the front of the card, but I just want to follow it on inside the card. So I'm just going to quickly just stamp it off. Then I'm going to bring this in and I'm just going to have it, I think, about there. You might like to do it a different way, like that. And it just leaves that gorgeous butterfly which follows on inside your card. And then you're just going to glue that with some snail inside. I'm just thrilled that that really turned out because I was really nervous doing that for you in a tutorial. So I just have to stick this piece in and we're done. Just, you might like a bigger piece inside, but there's plenty of room to write on that card. So that's our third card, our Swallowtail Grunge card. And so you've got that, and you open it, and it's got the gorgeous butterfly, and then when they close it, it's even got some of the wing on the back. Like that, like that. I just love it. Now this is number 3 tutorial. I've done 3 tutorials on the Swallowtail for you. The first one was Triple Time. If you remember, we used lots of different ink colours. The second one was what I call the Floating Butterfly, where we cut out the wings and added them on. You'll be able to see all those tutorials on my channel as well as this one, and I will put the measurements in the bottom for you. I really appreciate your time that you spend with me as I do these tutorials. I'm really enjoying doing them for you, so I really hope to see you next time.